ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः।
We were seeing the part of the text where the objections regarding adhikari are raised and answered. And the Purvapakshi was saying that because there is no qualified mumukshu, the starting of this text is futile, useless. And to that, the Siddhanti had asked the Purvapakshi, why do you say so? The first option given was, is it because there is no mumukshu at all? And that particular part was answered by saying that no, in fact, everybody is a mumukshu. And the second option which the Siddhanti had given was, even though mumukshu is there, but he will not be engaged in this text. And now we are seeing the answer to that particular option. And now Siddhanti further asks Purvapakshi, why do you think so? Why, even though mumukshu is there, he will not be engaged in this text? And again, Siddhanti gives three options. And among that, the first option was, is it because mumukshu will not be engaged in this text because this text is not the moksha sadhanam? Is it because of this reason the mumukshu will not be engaged in this text? And now that particular option is being answered by Siddhanti. And Siddhanti says that that cannot be the reason. Why? Because not only this text, no text is moksha sadhanam. Therefore, that cannot be the reason for mumukshu not to be engaged in this text. And how no text is moksha sadhanam is now explained. Yataha tameva viditva atinrutyameti ityadi pramanaihi jnanam eva moksha sadhanam na anyat iti siddhantah. Yataha, because, means the hetumat is nahi grantah moksha sadhanam. Yataha, because of the pramanas such as tameva viditva atimrutyameti, having known that Paramatma as oneself, one goes beyond death. And here death is a representative of samsara. So it means having known that Paramatma, one goes beyond samsara, that is attains moksha. So because of such pramanas, the siddhanta is jnanam eva moksha sadhanam. Knowledge alone is the means for moksha. Na anyat. Na anyat means other things such as the text, etc., are not the moksha sadhanam. And why?
Etc. and karma upasana also, but contextual text.
And why text is not a moksha sadhanam? Because text is, the mere text is not jnana rupa. And therefore it is not a moksha sadhanam. Iti siddhantah. In this manner, the siddhanta is there. And then it is said, Taccha jnanam vedanta shravanat eva jayate. That means moksha sadhana rupam. That jnanam, which is in the form of the means for moksha, is born only from listening to Vedanta Vakya. And then the Siddhanta says that there are two types of Shravanam. Shravanam api vividham. Shravanam is also of two types. Prathamam Vedanta Vakyasya Shrotrendriyena Sayoga Rupam. The first Shravanam is in the form of contact between the sentences of Vedanta and the organ of hearing. So what it means is the first Shravanam is in the form of listening to Vedanta Vakya, mere listening to Vedanta Vakya. This Shrutam Vedanta Vakyam is the Prathamam Shravanam. And then what is the second Shravanam?
Shrutam
Vedanta Vakyam.
Shrutam Vedanta Vakyam. Because Vedanta Vakya will be Shravanam. No?
Yes. Yes.
So listening to Vedanta Vakya is Shravanam.
Yes.
Technically,
Yes.
right.
Yes. And then what is the second Shravanam? Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupam tu Vitiyam. The second Shravanam is in the form of analysis of the meaning of the sentences of Vedanta. So what does it mean? Regarding what is the Tatparyam of Vedanta, different Astikas say different things. For example, Dvaita say Dvaitam is the Tatparyam of Vedanta. Vishishtadvaita say Vishishtadvaitam is the Tatparyam of Vedanta. So person may have doubt that what is the Tatparyam of Vedanta. So he needs to do analysis using the Shadvidha Linga, the sixfold indicators. Using those, he needs to analyze what is the Tatparyam of Vedanta, and that is referred to by this Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupam Dvitiyam Shravanam. And then it is said, Etayoho Jnanasya Mukhya Sadhanam Prathamikam Shravanam Eva Natu Dvitiyam. Among this or between these two Shravanam, the main sadhanam for Jnanam is the first Shravanam alone and not the second one. And why is this so? That is explained. Shabda bodham prati shrotrena shabda sannikarshasya eva sarvatra karanatvangi. The first one alone is the mukhya sadhanam because of the acceptance of the contact of the word with the organ of hearing as the means for verbal knowledge. Sarvatra, everywhere. So it means that everywhere it is accepted that the contact of the words or the Vedanta Vakya and the organ of hearing, that contact is the means for verbal knowledge. And regarding this Shabda Bodha, we had seen a shloka from Nyaya Shastra. The shloka is Padanyanam tu karanam dvaram tatra padartha dhihi Shabda bodham phalam tatra shakti dhistu sahakarini. Shaktidis sahakarini. It says that Padanyanam tu karanam. The knowledge of the words is the karanam, is the means. And here this Shrotrena Shabda Sannikarshasya refers to this Padanyanam. And then Dvaram Tatra Padartha Dhihi. Tatra means with regard to Shabda Bodha, the Dvaram, the gateway, is the knowledge of the meaning of the words. And how does one get that knowledge of the meaning of the words? It is said in the fourth pada. So we have to bring one word from the previous pada. Tatra Shakti Dhihi Sahakarini. Tatra means Padartha Dhyam or Padarthopasthitau. With regard to the availability or the knowledge of the meaning of the words, the contributory factor is Shakti Dhihi, the knowledge of the power of the words to convey the meaning. So that helps in getting this Padartha Jnanam. And what is the final result here? Result is Shabda Bodham Phalam, the result is in the form of verbal knowledge, that is knowledge born of words.
Yes. So we are seeing the first option presented by Siddhanti, and that is presented by Siddhanti to Purvapakshi regarding the intention of Purvapakshi. When Purvapakshi says that even though there can be somebody who is mumukshu, but he will not be interested in the text which you are going to write. And for that, Siddhanti said, what do you mean? What do you want to convey by that? The first option is that in this grantha, mumukshu will not have this engagement because this grantha is not moksha sadhana. Means mokshasya sakshat sadhana. And for that, Siddhanti says this particular option is not tenable because not only this grantha is not moksha sakshat sadhana, any grantha is not moksha sadhana. So why you are particularly pointing out this? We are not telling that this grantha, the text by itself is a moksha sadhana. If somebody buys our text, he will get moksha. That is not the case. Or somebody by hearts the text, he will get moksha. That also not the case. Somebody simply reads the text, he will get moksha. No. So, no grantha by itself is moksha sadhana. Therefore, you cannot particularly point out this. Like this person goes to buy the computer and he says, oh, I'm not interested in buying your computer because we have to spend electricity. So, जो भी computer खरीदे, electricity will be required. So you cannot point out this as a reason. You don't want to buy, doesn't matter. But don't say this. Give some solid reason. Because everyone will have electricity. Everyone will require some form of electricity. Or some energy, some solar also you take, but finally some power required. Like some person, no? He was playing this Shehnai. Shehnai means a particular instrument. He played it very well in front of this rich man, thinking that he will get some, reward. Then rich man liked it, but when time to give some money came, he said, "Can you play this pounding rod?" He said, "Sir, pounding rod cannot be played." So he says, "वीणा तो ये शहनाई तो सब बजाते हैं." He says, "This flute everybody plays. What a big deal." So you cannot give such lame excuse. So Siddhanti wants to say that grantha moksha sadhanam is not applicable to anyone. Why? Because what gives freedom is the understanding, this knowledge. And knowledge is born of Shravanam, Vedanta Shravanam. And that Vedanta Shravanam, which is the means for Jnanam, and which Jnanam is the means for freedom, that Shravanam is Vividham. Prathamam Vedanta Vakyasya Shrotrendriya Sanyoga Rupam. This Prathama, first Shravanam is in the form of contact of Vedanta Vakya with the Shrotrendriya. It looks so easy. But here, along with this, other things we have to understand. Padajnanam tu karanam, when it is said, the dvaram tatra padartha dihi. If somebody doesn't know the language of the speaker, and the speaker says tattvamasi, person doesn't know the Sanskrit, or the speaker is speaking in English and he doesn't know English, or he speaks in Hindi, Hindi doesn't know, then knowledge will not happen. Even though ta, tva, ma, si, Shrotrendriya Sanyoga happen, but still Dana will not happen. Why? Padartha Dehi also required. And Padartha Dehi means understanding of the meaning of the words, that's called padarthadihi. That will be possible only when Shakti Dihi has happened. Shakti Dihi means what? The power of words to convey the meaning. The connection between the words and its meaning, that is called Shakti. So one has to know that this word means this. This particular understanding that this word, a particular word, has got a particular meaning. Ghata has got this meaning. That is called Shakti Dihi. Understanding a particular word conveys a particular meaning, that is called Shakti Dhi. This understanding of the power of a word to convey a particular meaning. And that is required for what? Padartha Dhi. If I know that Tvam, the word Tvam and you, the meaning you, have got connection, then when I heard Tvam, I will get the understanding it means you, is referring to me. Therefore, Shakti Dhi is required for Padartha Dhi. And Padartha Dhi along with Padagdanam will give rise to Shabda Bodha. That is the mechanism of the Shabda Bodha. And therefore we said here that Prathamam Shravanam is Padagdanam. Padagdanam means the meaning of knowledge of the words. And here Pada stands for Vakya also. Knowledge of the sentence. So knowledge of all the words used in the sentence. Better to say knowledge of all the words used in the sentence. And also a person has to have the knowledge of the meaning of words. Padagdanam should be there. Padarthagdanam should be there. Then person will have the knowledge of the Vakya, knowledge of the sentence. And that is called Shabda Bodha. Whenever we say Shabda Bodha, what we mean is Vakyartha Bodha. Shabda Bodha is another word for Vakyartha Bodha, the meaning of the knowledge of the meaning of the sentence. So here it is said, this Prathamam Shravanam, first listening, is in the form of the sentence coming in contact with the Shrotrendriya along with the Padarthadi. If this is there, then Vakyarthak Dhan will happen. Padagdanam is there, and then Padarthak Dhanam happens because of Shakti Di, then Vakyarthak Dhanam will happen. If there is no obstacles. Okay. And that is Prathama Shravanam. So when you listen to the sentence, Tat Tvam Asi, and you know the meaning of Tat, you know the meaning of Tvam, then you get the knowledge, yes, I am that Ishvara. That is called Prathamam Shravanam. That seems to be very easy. Just you listen. But knowing the meaning of the words. Okay. That second is Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupam Tudvitiyam. The second Shravanam is in the form of the analysis of the meaning of the sentences of Vedanta. And of these two, the first Shravanam is Mukhya Sadhana. Even though it seems to be the easiest, but that is the main one. And Natu Dvitiyam, and not the second one. Why? Shabdam bodham prati shrotrena shabda sannikarsasya eva sarvatra karanatvangi karat. Because for Shabda bodham prati means word based knowledge called Shabda bodha. For word based knowledge, shrotrena shabda sannikarsha, the contact of the words with the organ of hearing, means the sentence are being heard. That is contact of the words with the organ of hearing is the karanam, is the cause, is the means for what? Shabda bodha. In simple words, for word based knowledge, sentence being contacted with the organ of hearing, that itself is the means. For Shabda Bodha, Shrotrena Shabda Sannikarsha, the contact of the words with the organ of hearing itself is the Karana. Nothing more. If I say Devadatta is coming, you got the knowledge. There is a person called Devadatta coming. There is a tree in the ground. There is a tree. You understand? You don't require any analysis. You understand? If you know the meaning of this there is tree, ground, you understand. So for any Shabda Bodha, what is required is that contact between the words which constitute sentence and Shrotrendriya. That's what is happening. So when I say something, bring water, so you understand. You don't do mimamsa. What is the bring? What is the meaning of water? You don't do mimamsa. Bring water, you understand that Swamiji wants me to bring water. So for Shabda Bodha, word-based knowledge, what is required is the contact of the sentences with ears. That is not just organs of hearing, with the ears. Okay. So that is accepted as Karana. The contact between the sentence and the organ of hearing or the ears is the Karana for Shabda Bodha. Adat se majboor. So okay, Karanatvangi Karat. Ataha. Now up to this we have seen. Ataha Vedanta Vakyasya Shrotrendriyena Saha Sanyoga Rupa Shravanameva Brahma Paroksha Jnana Hetuhu Bhavati. Ataha means what? Shabda Sandikarshasya Eva Shrotrena Shabda Bodham Prati Karanatvangi Karat. Since the contact between the sentence and the ears alone is considered to be the means for word-based knowledge. Therefore, means if you want to have simple words, if you want to have word-based knowledge, what should be there? Your word should be heard. That's all. The hearing of words will give the knowledge conveyed by the words. Therefore, Vedanta Vakyasya of Vedanta Vakya, sentences of Vedanta, Shrotrendriyena Saha, with the organ of hearing, Sanyoga Rupa Shravanam Eva, the listening in the form of the contact of Vedanta Vakya with the ears, Eva alone, Brahma Paroksha Jnana Hetuhu Bhavati, becomes the cause for, the means for the immediate knowledge of Brahma. So people think that Brahma Jnanam is something, some mystical experience should happen. Something, some jerk should be happen, some the shivering or something should happen, levitation should happen. There is nothing, We are trying to mystify knowledge. See, Pujya Swamiji's one great contribution is that he demystify this pursuit of knowledge. Therefore, in fact, he changed the very wording related to the pursuit of knowledge. Instead of calling this discourse by the teacher, generally they say discourse is a class. Means it's a learning. So don't mystify. As we have learned so many things, this is also to be learned. Don't have some that extra air about it. This is a learning. And he tells the guru as teacher, not a master. He doesn't use the word master. Guru means teacher. One who teaches. It's a very great thing. Pujya Swamiji was very particular about demystifying the things. Don't use any mysticism. When you can convey things in simple words, why should you mystify it? So he said class, teacher. He said, I am a traditional teacher. Guru, etc. If you understand same meaning as teacher, no problem. But generally, Guru is translated as master. And master has got some mysticism. Teacher. You understand Gujarati master, then no problem. In Gujarati, teacher is called master. Master. That teacher we mean, yes. What is the master? We were given the explanation. You know what is master? जो माँ के स्तर पर आके पढ़ाता है वो मास्टर. Really, that I like it. One who comes at the level of mother and teaches is master. I like that. That's true. So anyway, that apart. So teacher, Guru is teacher, not a master, a mystic. Jnani means a wise person, not a mystic. Generally, they translate Jnani as a mystic. There is no mysticism. So here we say that Vedanta Vakyasya संयोग रूप श्रवणमेव ब्रह्मा परोक्ष ज्ञान हेतु भवति. Okay, so main thing he told that prathamam shravanam, this listening of Vedanta Vakyas is the prathamika shravanam, is the primary shravanam, and that itself is the means for getting immediate knowledge of Brahma being Atma. Only thing there is subdivision. What is that? Tatra avantara vakya shravanam paroksha jnana hetuhu. Tatra, with regard to that prathmika shravanam, or above the Vedanta vakya shravanam, avantara vakya shravanam. In the matter of Vedanta vakya shravanam, avantara vakya shravanam, the listening to the secondary sentences is paroksha jnana hetuhu, is the means for indirect knowledge. Achha, what does it mean? Avantara vakya means what? Ekya bhinna pratipadaka vakyas. So any vakya which is talking about tat, tvam, vacyartha drishtya, lakshyartha drishtya, that is called avantara vakya. Like it is said, Atma is different from the body. This is what? Avantara vakya. Brahman is jagat karanam. Avantara vakya. Brahman is satyam. Avantara vakya. Brahman is anantam. Avantara vakya. Brahman is dhanam also can be called avantara vakya, but if you understand a different way, it can be ekya vakya. But generally we say Brahman is dhanam avantara vakya. And Atma is Chaitanya Swarupa, avantara vakya. So all of them are secondary sentences. All the sentences which are revealing the meaning other than Aikyam and contributing to this message of the Aikyam is called avantara vakya. And that avantara vakya shravanam is paroksha jnana hetuhu. It is the cause for or the means for indirect knowledge. Especially tatpadartha vakya, you will hear, then you will have there is some Brahman. Therefore, paroksha jnana hetuhu. Mahavakya shravanam tu, whereas the listening to the Mahavakya, like Tattvamasi, is aparoksha jnana hetuhu, is the means for immediate knowledge of Brahman as Atma. Iti cha, in this manner, prak pratipaditam, already it has been pointed out. You have already been presented on it. Further, now he explains that if primary Shravanam, the first Shravanam itself is giving the aparoksha jnanam, then what is the need for the second Shravanam? The role of second Shravanam is explained by the author. Yasyatu punaha jnanodayanantaramapi asambhavana viparita bhavane sambhavataha. Satu dvitiyam vichara rupa shravanam mananam nididhyasanam cha tannivruttaye karotu. He says, punah, but yasya tu means for whom tu and punaha have got the pakshantare. But for whom Jnanodayanantaram api, even after the rise of the knowledge born of Mahavakya Shravanam, Prathama Shravanam, means he listened to the sentences of Vedanta, you are Brahman. You are Atma and Atma is Brahman. So you got the Dhanam. Yes, Shruti is a Pramanam and the Pramana Bhuta Shruti is telling you are Brahman. I understand. Yes, Shruti wants to say I am Brahman. I got the knowledge. But after the rise of this knowledge, what happens? Asambhavana viparita bhavane sambhavataha. Asambhavanas, the doubts, and viparita bhavana, the opposite is the impressions of opposite conclusions, habitual errors, sambhavataha, take place, continue, are possible. For whom? Anybody for whom, even after the rise of knowledge, the asambhavana and viparita bhavana are possible or are happening. Sahatu, but that person, indeed that person, to it not but, Sahatu, that person indeed. Dvitiyam vichara rupa shravanam mananam nididhyasanam cha tannivruttaye karotu. Saha karotu. Let that person do. Three things he has to do. Dvitiyam vichara rupa shravanam. The second shravanam which is in the form of vichara, analysis of vakyartha with the help of upakramadi shadlinga. And this is especially interpretational problem. Means that this Vedanta vakyas, this especially Mahavakyas, how should it be interpreted? Does it convey the Advaita only or it conveys something else? So here different acharyas who are accepting Vedanta as a main pramanam, they come into the picture. So it is an interpretational problem. Vedanta is a pramanam. But what does Vedanta say? About that, what does the particular Vakya convey? About that there are contentions. And they are resolved by the analysis. That is called Dvitiyam Shravanam. So that person who has got the problem of asambhavana, which is called otherwise called samshaya, he has to do the vichara rupa shravanam. And second thing he has to do is mananam. Mananam is deliberation. And mananam is slightly different from the shravanam. Not slightly, it's different from shravanam. How? In mananam, there is no interpretational problem. Because that is resolved at shravana level itself. At shravana level itself, person has now come to conclusion that Vedanta wants to say that I am non-dual Brahman. Then only shravanam is complete. But now question would be that is this non-duality stands the scrutiny, logical scrutiny? Is there any rational discrepancy? So that particular doubts based on the reasoning are resolved in the sadhana called mananam. So Vedanta wants to say I am Advitiyam Brahma. In that there is no doubt. But what Vedanta says, does it stand this logical scrutiny? Can we establish that it is not illogical? That type of inquiry is called mananam. Whereas in Shravanam, Dvitiya Shravanam, inquiry is about the interpretation of the Vedanta Vakya. And here in the Mananam, we are scrutinizing whether is there any illogicality in the conclusion we have arrived at. Conclusion from the Shruti, what we have arrived at. Does it have any logical discrepancy or logical contradiction? That is done in Mananam. Means what? A person needs to have this conviction that I am Brahma is my conviction. Not the Shruti says I am Brahman. As long as this remains that Shruti says I am Brahman, therefore I think I must be Brahman, that all these words will come. I think, Shruti says, therefore I must be Brahman. All these words are showing what? Some weakness. And therefore one needs to have this conviction that there is no logical fallacy. In fact, nothing else seems logical. This is right and this alone is right. And everything is not right, which is contradicting with this. That type of conviction has to come. Otherwise, Puja Swamiji used to say, ye bhi theek hai, wo bhi theek hai. This also okay, that also okay. That is not okay. So one has to have this conviction that I am Advitiya Brahma is no way contradicted by any logical argument. If any argument is brought, I am able to answer. So that is done in Mananam. So Mananam gives you logical conviction. You get this conviction which is free from doubts and vagueness. And then Nididhyasanam for removing habitual error. But these all three are to be done for whom? A person who has got asambhavana and viparita bhavana after getting aparoksha jnana. If that is not there, his job is done. If somebody can manage with the class itself, he doesn't require tutorials, Tutorials are required for whom? Who could not handle class. Some people say tutorials also can't handle. That's a different thing. But at least those who can't handle are not sufficient. The doubt remains, follow-up is required. For them it is required. But if a person is Uttamadhikari, this Prathama Shravanam itself is enough. Alright. And therefore he said, one who have these problems of doubts and habitual error, let that person do Shravana Manana, Dvitiya Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. Idancha Dvitiyam Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupa Shravanam Kim Vedanta Vakyani Brahma Dvitiyam Pratipadayanti Ahosvit Arthantaram Iti Evamatmakam. Vedanta Vakyeshu उत्पद्यमान उत्पद्यमानम असंभावना रूप संशयम निरस्यति. He makes big sentences. Okay. Idancha dvitiyam shravanam. And this second shravanam. And this shravanam is of which nature? He says Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupa. And this second shravanam, which is Rupa, which is in the form of Vichara, the analysis of the meaning of the sentences of Vedanta. That we already seen. So this second Shravanam, which is in the form of the analysis of the meaning of the Vedanta sentences, is further he predicates, is having this nature. What is the nature? Kim Ved. No, it is what is the job it is, not the nature. What is the job it's doing? Nirasyati. It is removing the samshaya. This Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupa Dvitiya Shravanam is removing the samshaya, doubt. And this is doubt is in the form of asambhavana. Asambhavana generally means sense of impossibility. That how can it be so? Can't it be like that also? So that asambhavana rupa samshaya. And this asambhavana rupa samshaya is utpadyamana, is born. With reference to what? Vedanta Vakyeshu, with reference to the sentences of Vedanta. And what is the nature of that doubt? That is said here, Kim Vedanta Vakyani Brahma Dvitiyam Pratipadayanti. As we have seen earlier, these sentences of Vedanta Do they reveal non-dual Brahma, Ahosvit, or Arthantaram, or something else? Iti evamatmakam samshaya. Doubt in this nature, doubt of this nature. What is the nature of doubt? Whether Vedanta Vakyas are revealing non-dual Brahma or something else. This type of doubt is removed by the Dvitiya Shravanam. Alright. Then Mananam, what does it do? Mananam hi prameya gata asambhavanam. Kim jiva brahmaikyam vastavam uta tadbheda ityadi samshayatmikam nivartayati. So main sentence is what? Mananam, we have to supply asambhavanam. Samshayatmikam asambhavanam nivartayati. Mananam, deliberation, removes the sense of impossibility which is in the form of doubt. In simple words, Mananam removes doubt. What type of doubt? Prameya gata asambhavana. The doubt related to the prameya. Prameya means the subject matter of Vedanta Pramanam. Prameya gata asambhavanam nivartayati. And what type of prameya gata asambhavana? That is said here, Kim jiva brahma ekyam vastavam uta tad bhedaha. Whether the oneness of jiva and brahma, which is the prameya of Shastra Pramana, is it real or tad bhedaha vastavaha, or the division is real? Ityadi samshayatmikam asambhavanam nivartayati. So Mananam removes the doubt. What type of doubt? Whether Jiva Brahma Aikya, which is the Tatparya Vishaya of Shastra, is it real or the Jiva Brahma Bheda, the difference between Jiva and Brahma is real? This type of doubt is resolved by Mananam. So Mananam Samshayatmikam, in fact Asambhavanam, if we don't write also, we have Prameyagata Sambhavanam Nivartayati. Is it clear? For our understanding, we again write. By chance, we have forgotten this, but otherwise, it is there. In simple words, Mananam removes the doubt based on logic, logic-based doubt. Whether this oneness with Paramatma, is it really there or really not there? Whether Veda will be real. Even though Shruti says, but is vision of Shruti right? The doubt comes. Because finally I have to convince myself. And knowledge with doubt is as good as no knowledge in terms of its effectiveness. So what happens? Doubtful knowledge will not give me that result of knowledge. With doubtful knowledge, I will not appreciate my freedom. Shastra says you are Nitya Mukta Brahma. How nice it would be, you will think like this. How nice it would be, but I don't think I can be. Can I be? No. If you say, can I be, then it will not give benefit. I have to see as clearly as I am seeing myself now as a human being. If I say you are a human being, do you have any doubt? You don't have doubt. You are so clear. You are a woman, you are a man. You don't have any doubt. When I say all ladies come this side, all gents come this side, you don't say what to do. Generally not. There are some cases, but generally not. You are very clear. Even though it is a wrong understanding, but how clear you are. The conviction you have. And that's why if you cut some joke on women, women don't like it. जैसे समझिए आपका और तो सब ठीक है लेकिन ये ठीक नहीं है. So that's why they will object, and I understand. Therefore, I am careful. And if I tell a joke about a woman, I will take one about man also. So to compensate. Because कितना भी मैं वेदांत बोलूं लेकिन उस पर तो आ ही जाता है. So it comes back. Anyway, so what I am saying that how convinced you are about it. with same conviction, I appreciate I am Brahma, then that knowledge gives me freedom. I am Brahman as a speculation, as one of the views, people will say that. According to Advaita Vedanta, I am Brahma. According to Vishishta Advaita, I am a part of Brahma. According to Dvaita, I am different from Brahma. I am only a servant of Brahma. So there are different views. Whichever you like, Morning you can do this, afternoon you can do this. So morning you can have pure Advaita, then afternoon Vishishta Advaita, and night you are tired. So and therefore Dvaita, therefore the Adhyatma Ramayana. So person, it means conviction is there. So conviction is I see it as a fact. It is not a view. That's why Pujya Swamiji, he doesn't like the usage of the word philosophy for Vedanta. People say Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta is not a philosophy. Vedanta is a pramanam. It's a means of knowledge. It makes a lot of difference. If you put Vedanta as a philosophy, then you have so many philosophies. One more philosophy you have, Vedanta. You have got this Vishishta Advaita philosophy, Dvaita philosophy, Eastern philosophy, Western philosophies. We have so many. So this is one more. The very orientation will be different. So you will think I am studying one of the philosophies. That will not allow you to get the benefit of this wisdom. Therefore, I look upon Shastra as a pramana, and any doubt I have, I should not suppress any doubt. No, I should not have doubt. Shruti says, I should believe what Shruti says. There is no question of believing. Yes, Shruti is revealing a fact, but if I have any logical contradiction in our mind, I have to resolve it. See, I can fool others. I cannot fool myself. And especially in moksha pursuit, you cannot fool yourself. In other pursuit, you can have positive thinking and all magic, etc. You keep on thinking. Here it doesn't work. The positive thinking doesn't work in Vedanta. In the final pursuit of Vedanta, I should think. It is a positive way of thinking that I am Brahman. It's not positive way of thinking. Because in positive thinking, there is little bit, you are overlooking other side of the fact. The glass is half empty, half full. You should see glass half full, but half empty also is there. You cannot deny the fact. So you cannot say is a positive way of thinking what I am Brahman. It's not a positive way of thinking. It is a real way of thinking. It's a reality. And so I am Brahman is a matter of fact for me. It is not a matter of belief or one of the views. It's not. That is called this samshaya nivritti, conviction. No way, in any condition, even if I am crying and somebody asks me, Swamiji, what is your nature? I will say Satchidanand Brahma. I should be able to say that. But Swamiji, you are crying, yes, because of some past samskara, it happened. But conviction has to be there. After convictions, one more step is required. That is said here, Nididhyasanam tu dehadi drishya prapanchasya jiva brahmanoho cha bhedah satyaha इत्यादि अनादि काल सिद्ध विपरीत भावनां निश्शेषम उन्मूलयति. निदिध्यासनम तु, whereas निदिध्यासनम उन्मूलयति. Unmulate means uproots. Nishesham completely. What? Viparita bhavana. Wrong habitual conclusions. Nididhyasanam removes completely wrong habitual conclusions. And how these habitual conclusions have come? He says, Anadi Kala Siddha. They are what is called accomplished since time beginningless. And what is that Viparita Bhavana? which is based on viparita jnanam, viparya janya viparita bhavana. And what is the wrong conclusion we have been entertaining? Dehadi drishya prapanchasya jiva brahmanoho cha vedaha satyaha. Dehadi drishya prapancha, the world consisting of all objectifiable things beginning with the body, dehadi, and jiva brahmanoho cha, and jiva and brahma, bhedaha. Dehadi drishya prapanchasya jiva brahmanoho cha bheda. Means what? Dehadi drishya prapancha is binna, jiva is binna. I am different, the world is different. The world is different, Ishvara is different. And jiva brahmanaha cha bhedaha. Between them also, jiva and brahmanaha bhedaha. Both ways. Jiva brahmanaha bhedaha, dehadi drishya prapanchasya bhedaha. Bhedaha kasya? So we have to read twice. Dehadi drishya prapanchasya jiva brahmanaha bhecha bhedaha. Means there is a difference between the world and world with jiva and brahman. And there is a difference between jiva and brahman. Means what? Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, all three are distinct from each other. And this we have been thinking, this division is Satya. The division of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara is real. This type of idea we have been entertaining since time beginningless. And that conclusion has created samskaras, which is called Viparita Bhavana. So wrong habitual conclusion is called Viparita Bhavana. And that Nishesham Unmulayati, Nididhyasanam removes these wrong conclusions. So even after cognitive conviction, still I may have this habitual conclusion. Not that cognitively I am not convinced, but even after cognitive conviction, for some time, this samskara continues, the impressions continue. And therefore, when it comes to some response, or especially in some moments of crisis, I go back to my old conclusions. And therefore what? I respond based on my old conclusion. Therefore what? Again I will say, why people are not understanding me, why people don't respect me, love me, etc. All these wrong conclusions come. And those wrong conclusions, habitual wrong conclusions, are removed by Nididhyasanam. Alright. So thus, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, they are not, the second Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam, they are not creating knowledge. They are simply removing the obstacles to this knowledge. Obstacles to the knowledge means what? Obstacle to the result of the knowledge. And now he concludes, Itham prathamikam shravanam brahmatmaikya jnana dvara moksha hetuhu. So he now, guys, the uktartham sangrihya nigamayati. So now having captured what has been said, he concludes, Itham, thus, in this manner, prathamikam shravanam, primary shravanam. Primary shravanam is what? Vedanta vakyascha shrotrendriya shrotrena sanyoga rupa shravanam. That primary shravanam is moksha hetuhu, is the means for moksha. How? Not directly. Brahmatmaike dana dvara. Through the knowledge of oneness between Brahma and Atma. Then Vakyartha Vichara Rupam. Okay. Vakyartha Vichara Rupam Dvitiyam Shravanam. Tippani is very long Tippani, so we'll do it next class. Vakyartha Vichara Rupam Dvitiyam Shravanam Mananam Nididhyasanam cha Ityadi Sambhavana Viparita Bhavana Nivritti Dvara Moksha Hetuhu. So these three things, Dvitiyam Shravanam, second Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam cha. All these three, cha Ityadi by Samadhi, yes. So something we have to fill up. So Ityadi. Ityadihi. Ityadi Asambhavana. Ityadihi Asambhavana Viparita Bhavana Nivritti Dvara. By way of removal of The asambhavana, sense of impossibility, otherwise called doubt, and viparita bhavana, these wrong habitual conclusions. So these three, this second Shravanam, Manana and Nididhyasanam, are moksha hetuhu, are the means for moksha by way of dvara, means by way of removal of the asambhavana, twofold asambhavana and viparita bhavana. Twofold asambhavana is there, no? What are the twofold?
Pramanagata and Prameyagata.
Yes. All right. So he concluded this, that aparoksha jnanam is by prathama shravanam, and therefore prathama shravana is the hetu by giving the knowledge of oneness between Brahma and Atma. The dvitiya shravana, mandana, nididhyasanam, they are the moksha hetu by way of removal of obstacles. Now somebody said that you said Vedanta shravanam vividam. Vedanta vakyasya sanyoga rupam shravanam, Vedanta vakyartha vichara rupam. But generally we are talking about this Upanishad as a pramanam. So Vedanta will not give this, Vedanta shravanam will not give moksha. Because Brahman is called Upanishadam Purusham. Brahman is something which is to be known through Upanishad. Then Siddhanta says Vedanta iti Upanishadeva uchyante. So abhi tak so Vedanta, by the word Vedanta, Upanishad alone are uchyante, are referred to. Is it clear? Vedanta iti, by the word Vedanta, Upanishadaha plural, alone are referred to. And this particular point he is bringing in to say that this Vichara Sagara is a Vedanta Grantha. But still, it is not Upanishad. You can call it a Vedanta Grantha, but still, technically it is not Upanishad. And for Brahma Jnanam, the Pramanam is what? Upanishad. So, Upanishad alone will give me moksha. This Vichara Sagara study will not give me moksha, even though it is Vedanta Grantha. To that possible doubt, he gives the answer. Yadyapi etasmat paurushayat prakranat taha bhinnaha tathapi tadarthasya eva ayam granthaha balanam sulalitam bodhakaha bhavati. Yadyapi, even though etasmat paurushayat prakranat, this Vichara Sagara is a prakrana grantha. So from this prakrana grantha, expository text, name for prakrana is expository text. From this expository text, which is paurushaya, composed by a person, from this taha means Upanishadaha. Those Upanishads are different. No doubt, this text cannot be called Upanishad. So Upanishads are different from this text. Tathapi, even then, tadarthasya eva ayam granthaha balanam bodhakaha bhavati. The ayam granthaha, this text is bodhakaha bhavati. Is bhavati means becomes, or is bodhakaha, revealer. And revealer of what? Tadartha. Tadartha means Upanishadartha. This text is the revealer of the meaning of the Upanishad alone. So what is said in Upanishad, that alone is talked about in this text. And that too Sulalitam. Sulalitam means easily, lucidly. So in fact one meaning of Sulalitam is sportively. But sportively to lagta nahi humko. But still he said easily. Because he explains everything, उसको हिंदी में बोलते खोल खोल के बताता है. Really opens up, It's, so much, for small thing also he elaborates. Nothing is to be taken for granted. वो टीचर के लिए जॉब छोड़ते हैं क्योंकि हम करते कुछ. So बोधकः भवति. So सुललितम, बालानाम is what? For the people who are not well informed and highly intelligent, for them this grantha is bodhaka bhavati. स्वामी जी ये भी अगर बाला बनाए तो हमारा क्या है, हमारा स्टेटस क्या है, बाल बाला, सो बाला नाम सुललित बोधक भवति. So what is the answer given to the question? The answer is, even though this text is not technically Upanishad, but this text is revealing the subject matter of Upanishad, and that too in easy, clear manner. The Upanishad is language is little bit terse language, whereas this language is clear language. So it is clearly revealing the subject matter of Upanishad, and therefore this grantha will also contribute to the knowledge, the rise of knowledge, they contribute to the removal of the doubts. Rise of knowledge by the Mahavakya, which will be given here also. But these Asambhavana and Viparita Bhavana are to be removed, and that is done by this text. Because it is dealing with the subject matter of Upanishad alone. And Etad Grantha Shravane, on listening to this text, Anayasena, easily, Yatha Atmaswarupa Sakshatkara Jayeta, how the intimate appreciation of the nature of the self would be born. Tatha, in that manner, Uparishtat Prapanchaishyate would be explained later on. Prapanchaishyate means will be explained later on. Uparishtat means will be explained, and Uparishtat means later. Uparishtat later, and Prapanchaishyate means will be explained. Means by listening to this text, how Atmaswarupa Sakshatkara will be born, this will be explained later. Means just as Upanishad can remove the listening to the Upanishad, listening to the Bhashyam on Upanishad can remove the doubts, similarly this Grantha also can help you with removing the Pramanagata Samshaya, Pramegata Samshaya. And Itham, in this manner, Ayamapi Grantha Nanotpatti Hetutvena Moksha Karanam Bhavati. Nadu Sakshat. In this manner, even this text becomes the means, Moksha Karanam becomes the means for freedom. Dhanutpatti Hetutvena, as the means for the rise of knowledge, or as the cause for the rise of knowledge. Means what? By giving rise to the knowledge, this text becomes indirectly the means for moksha. We have to say indirectly, otherwise contradiction. Nahi mo granto moksha sadhana. We have by few sentences we change. So we should know sakshat moksha sadhanam, paramparaya moksha sadhanam bhavati. Why? असंभावनादि अशेष दोष शंका पाकरण समर्थ श्रवण मननात्मकत्वादस्य ग्रंथस्य. Because this text, asya grantha, because this text is Shravana Mananatmaka, is in the form of Shravana and Manana, especially Dvitiya Shravana and Mananatmaka. This text is in the form of the Shravana, the second Shravanam, listening, and Manana, deliberation. In which sense this Grantha is the Shravana Mananatmaka? Then he said, Asambhavanadi Ashesha Dosha Apakarana Samartha. Just as Shravana and Manana are removing the Asambhavanadi dosha, similarly, this text is Samartha, capable of Apakarana, removing Shanka, doubt. What? Asambhavanadi Ashesha dosha. This Grantha is capable of removing the doubt, Ashesha dosha Shanka, removing the doubt regarding the doubt in the form of asambhavanadi ashesha dosha, doubts which are in the form of defects, all the defects which are in the form of asambhavanadi, sense of impossibility. So this grantha is Shravana Mananatmaka because it is capable of removing the shanka, the doubt, and ashesha dosha, or in the form of ashesha dosha, which are beginning with asambhavanadi. is the sense of impossibility, etc. So asambhavanadi, ashesha dosha, shanka, apakarana samartha. So here ashesha dosha and shanka we can say, or ashesha dosha rupa shanka. Doubt which is in the form of all doshas beginning with asambhavanadi, sense of impossibility. So asambhavanadi, adi padena aspashtata on it. Because this grantha is not, we cannot add viparita bhavana here. Because not niridhyasmatmaka. Okay. Tasma, therefore, na anena granthena mokshaha jayeta iti etat kevalam hataha. Therefore, by this grantha, moksha will not be born. Iti etat means this grantha doesn't contribute to moksha at all. That is how we have to understand. Iti etat, this type of idea is kevalam hataha, is merely obstinacy. Obstinacy means stubbornness. A stubbornness, you say this grantha will not give moksha, grantha will not contribute to moksha. If you keep on saying, I cannot say. But if you are ready to analyze, we can explain to you. That is the idea. Okay. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.